Alright, here we are, back again with the Fall Guy. Oh, there isn't even a costume today. Yeah, I saw one of these Robo-Jaws that was transparent, and I always wondered about that, but I only saw it like one time. Cute. I'm surprised. I wonder what the other coming soon is. Huh, fascinating. Let's just do a squad show. You know me. So yeah, yesterday I went to stream yesterday and it just wasn't working. Like, it didn't crash per se, but my connection was terrible for no reason. So now we're trying again today. Hopefully it goes better, because we do have some things to talk about, some things to do, you know. Yeah, hopefully it's better, because it was a nightmare yesterday. I mean, it started off fine, but I think it all fell apart once we started playing. So we'll see if it happens again. I was pulling up. What do we? Because yeah, we do have a fair few things to talk about today. Not too much, but some things. I'm actually adding something right now. Oh yeah, we're losing this instantly. Gah. Yeah, it was yesterday crashed, and honestly, part of it was fine because I had a tummy ache yesterday, and now I don't. So, yeah, I was so tired yesterday as well. Not that I went to bed immediately afterwards. I probably stayed up for another like 3 hours and played some other things, which we will be talking about. Listen to some Fuckface podcast, which still enjoying that Fuckface podcast. Or, well, I don't have a censor thing, so I can't censor it, but you know what I mean. It's gonna pop. Come on. I can already tell you we're out, no matter where our teammate is. I mean, that's not too far behind, but yeah, no, we're out. But yeah, yesterday, what did I mention in our in the intro? Anything? Not that I can think of. Yeah, it was just, I'm tired. So yeah, Fall Guys has been going. Animal Crossing has been... we won't talk about this later, so I'm going to mention it now, because, you know, we don't... Even though I play Animal Crossing and Fall Guys all the time, I don't really talk about them in WIBE anymore. But, in Animal Crossing, I finally got the golden shovel, either today or yesterday. I don't remember when. I think it was yesterday, actually. But I finally, from Gulliver, I got the golden shovel. So I now have all the golden tools. It only took over 500 days. But I finally have all the golden tools. Yeah. Oh my god. Now it's just left to finish the museum. Which I did the numbers. I am 11 away. Because I actually got a new painting, I think today. But other than that, I am 11. I think it's mostly it's like 8 statues and 3 paintings or something like that. It's a skewed number, but I am so close. Oh yeah, and I did win a crown in Fall Guys, like a non-squad show win. That was nice. But yeah, it's just Animal Crossing's going well. Fall Guys is, even though I've barely had time to play Animal Crossing, and I haven't played Fall Guys since, I don't know, Monday of last week. Well, you know, not counting yesterday. which we played for like 10 minutes. Yep, but we'll get to WIBE. Let's start with the news, I guess. If I can get it to load. Oh, I still need to do the freaking what if video about the what if Carter was Captain America. So, our first news story is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Is it happening? It looks like it's happening next year, I think. And it might be announced later this year. So how this started is in an interview, the voice actress for Melia? I think it's the voice actress for Melia. In an interview hinted that something was going on. I'll check if I bookmarked like anything about it. I don't think I did, but it was something along those lines. That like the voice act right was like, or that they're working with Monolith Soft again on a new project. And of course the first thought is, oh, Xenoblade 3. That just makes the most sense, right? And I'm down, of course. I beat Xenoblade 1. I played through some of X. I've technically like never beaten X, but I've played through I don't want to say half, like that's probably an overestimate. But I've played through a fair I just realized I'm the only person. Fudge. We're out. But yeah, I've played through a fair... God, how am I getting all these terrible teams? I've played through a fair half of X, and then I played like 2-3 hours of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and haven't touched it since. And once Chugga Conroy started Let's Playing it, I was like, oh, finally, I'm going to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And it's a 1,000-hour commitment. Which, admittedly, the first game was. And I did the first game on 3DS. So, yeah. Oh, God. And then they re-released the first game. And I was so excited. And I haven't played it. But, yeah. And one day I will do too. Chugga Conroy, right? He does fantastic stuff. He's the reason... Him and Smash Bros, technically, are the reason I played the first game. And even though I was going to play the second on my own, I just never got around to it because I'm terrible. I started it. I did start it. But, you know, I was listening to... Was it Lewis? Was it Lewis Brindley? Or Pyrian Flax or Sibs? Because I've been listening to the Triforce podcast recently. It might have been then. It probably might have also been James Stephanie Sterling. But whoever it was, they were talking about RPGs and how it's just impossible. Like, with our, like, ever-connected world. It's like people's attention spans are so short, and it's just so hard to finish RPGs. It might have been James Stephanie Sterling. That might have been who it was, now that I'm thinking about it, because I know they have ADHD. And, yeah. But yeah, that might have been it. I just realized I'm out. But, so yeah, I can't finish RPGs. I really tried to beat Dragon Quest last year, and I just couldn't. I tried. I really did try. But after 30 hours, like, kind of like what happened with Tasmania, I was able to listen to an episode of Taz every day, and then the second June 1st hit, I stopped, and but we will actually be talking about that today. Meanwhile, but yeah, last year I did Dragon Quest 11. I played it basically every day in June for at least an hour. And then the second July hit, I just stopped and I haven't touched it since. Yeah, no, I don't have anything for Xenoblade. I have something for another story that we'll talk about. Yeah, now, admittedly, with Xenoblade, I have been predicting that we were going to get a remake of X. Presumably the Switch can run Xenoblade Chronicles X. I know that game is massive. Like, that game is huge. I don't want to say it didn't run bad on the Wii U, But the Wii U took a lot to get that game to run. Like, you had to install some data packs to really get it to run. And I'm assuming, hey, you could get those same things on the Switch, but it took up a lot. Like, half of my Wii U's, 32 gigabytes is Xenoblade Chronicles X. And I'm all out of storage on Switch. Like, I need to get a new micro SD for the Switch OLED. So that way I have more, so basically double what I have, because I think I only have 128. Gosh dang it, why am I only getting teams of 2? Is this a me thing, or is this just a... I don't know what this is. Because I know we're doing squads of 4. Oh, gosh dang it. But yeah, I've been predicting a remake of X for the Switch. Because X, spoiler alert, ends on a cliffhanger. I'm not going to tell you what that cliffhanger is, but I will tell you it ends on a cliffhanger. So, you know, re-releasing X and then making X2 always just kind of made sense to me. That's like, oh, that's the obvious next move. And maybe that'll happen. But at the moment, a lot of people are predicting X3 or Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which, again, I have no problem with. And, like, there's this rumor about it being, like, set, like, years after, like, hundreds of years after the events of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which is interesting to say the least. That's an interesting idea. I don't know where everyone's getting that from. Is that just a rumor? Also, same thing with it being released next year. Yeah, that's just kind of the rumor at the moment. I don't even... We'll stay in it, but we're already out, I can tell you that. But yeah, I'm always down for more Xenoblade. Will I actually play it? Probably not, but I know the games are selling well. Well, relatively speaking. I think they sell like 1 to 2 million, which I know for some series that isn't much, but for Nintendo, that's more than enough for them, right? Even though they're massive games, like the amount, like what Monolith is able to pull off still blows me away sometimes thinking about it. We're out. But yeah, next up, so Sonic 2. So the Sonic movie I thought was fine. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie from last year, it was a fine movie. Nothing amazing, but nothing terrible. I have seen some really bad video game movies. Sonic is not one of them. I know some people just like to be like, oh, this movie's actually terrible. Oh, this movie is so bad. This movie, oh, it's just a 90s movie. It's basically Hop again, or even though Hop was, what, the 2000s? Nah, yeah, don't get me wrong. It's nothing amazing, but it's fine. There are probably 100 worse video game movies you can show somebody. No joke. There are some bad ones. And Detective Pikachu was also, like, we've been getting better video game movies. Detective Pikachu was also pretty good. Like, that one was, I'd say, was genuinely good. I enjoyed that. Yes, part of it is nostalgia blindness. But, yeah, no, I enjoyed that one. What's the other one? Mortal Kombat was whatever. I mean, it wasn't terrible. Like, it was meh. Fine. Whatever. But no, I like the Sonic movie. And almost immediately, that was one of the last movies people saw before COVID hit. And immediately, they went into pre-production on Sonic 2. Immediately. And we now got information that Knuckles... So at the end of the first movie, they hint at Tails. Which is like, oh, that's cool. Tails? Yeah, no, that sounds That's cool. I think it's the same voice actor from the game for Tails, which might change. I wouldn't be surprised if it does, but hey, that'd be cool to get him back. That'd be cool to have more Tails. Oh my gosh. They're all over here on this end. But yeah, so that's cool. And now we have casting for Knuckles, and it's Idris Elba, who just got off of the Suicide Squad, which I hear isn't doing that well at the box office, but admittedly nothing is doing well at the box office. Like that Free Guy movie that I haven't seen, that I might see. I don't know. At the moment, I'm kind of up in the air on whether I will or not. That Free Guy movie was fine. Or no, that... Where am I going with this? Okay, so Free Guy... I was talking about theaters, wasn't I? Free Guy looks fine, is what I was trying to say. I don't know. But, I was talking about theaters and, Suicide Squad. That's where I was getting at. Suicide Squad is not doing well, but it's a fantastic movie. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's the best thing since sliced bread, which is how some people treat it. But I thought it was good. I thought it was pretty good. And Idris Elba was amazing in that. And now they've announced that he will be voicing Knuckles the Echidna. Which, you know, I've seen a lot of different takes on this. I've seen some good ones. I've seen some bad ones. I see the criticism as of why, like, oh, Idris Elba is one of the best actors, like, out there right now. He's so good in everything he's in. And to see him be Knuckles is just kind of like, that's underwhelming. Like, couldn't you get him in some... Right? Like, hey, it's Idris Elba. This is the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And I get that. But at the same time, he's Idris Elba. He can fucking nail whatever he does. Because he's so fucking good. So you know what? I'm gonna roll with it. This is good. I think this is fine. Like, I get where people are coming from with, like, hey, this is the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. This is the second Sonic the Hedgehog movie. But, you know, I think this could be great. I really do. This could be a lot of fun. And yeah, Idris Elba, pretty decent casting. He can do fun American, like an American accent. I mean, admittedly, I say the same about Sean Connery. Oh, God. But yeah, no, Idris Elba's great. And he can nail basically anything he's in. So I have full faith this will go well. Yeah, but yeah, I enjoy the Sonical Hedgehog movie. It's fine. I admittedly haven't seen it since it came out. I don't think I've rewatched Detective Pikachu either. But I think, yeah, no, especially like a second one, like them doing Tails, them going after the Chaos Emeralds, presumably Jim Carrey's back at Robotnik, which was just dumb, but it was fun. Like, I get why people, like a lot of people talk about how that's a 90s movie. And yeah, they got Jim Carrey to play 90s Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. And it was kind of fun. It's a fun movie. It's not good per se. Like, it's not amazing or anything, but it's fun, which is admittedly better than the movie we'll be talking about later, Space Jam. Yeah, no, I think Idris Elba is fine casting. Sure, go for it. Next up, why does this keep... That's so weird. So next up, there was an Indie World presentation on Wednesday. You know me, I love me some indie games. I primarily play indie games. I mean, Fall Guys is Devolver Digital, and Devolver Digital's indie games, right? So I mostly play a lot of indie games. And as I say, a successful indie world, as long as you get one game you like, an indie world is a success. Indie worlds are meant to show different games, and as long as there is one you like, then an indie world is successful. That's how I rate them. Of course, the more the better. There was one indie world where I legitimately liked every game in the showcase, which was, I think that was last year even. That was in the midst of COVID. And this indie world showcase is also really good. I'm not gonna say I liked everything, but I liked a lot of it. There's a lot of stuff I'm interested in. Some of it, like, I didn't even write down here. Like, I don't think I wrote down Astroneer, which is a game I've always kind of been interested in, but I also feel like it's one of those games where, like, not much happens. Where it's like, it kind of like Rust or 7 Days to Die, where I'm like, this seems interesting, and it's kind of fun to watch other people play it, but it also seems like it could get boring. So, yeah, I don't actually have Astroneer written on here, but it's definitely a game I do think about from time to time. But yeah, let's start off. There's a game called Toem, T-O-E-M, which is like this photograph game with a really interesting art style, and yeah, you're just going, you're not in Japan, I think you're in Norway, and you go around Norway, and I think you're like a bird, and you like take pictures. I don't know, it's kind of cute. And so to that end, no, I think this looks interesting. It's got a good art style. I like it seems like there's like this whole like 3D visual element to it that I think looked really nice. It just looks like a fun game. It's I don't know if it's one of those like 2-3 hour games, like, you know, like a Donut County or a Short Hike, or what's the other example I always use? Oh, Goose Game, even though Goose Game's like an hour. I don't know if it's a short game like that, but it seems to be something in that realm. Right? Just like a small little game that could be fun. And, you know, I value those experiences. Goose Game and Donut County are 2 hour long, but they're a great 2 hours. And, you know, as time goes on, right, I talk about how I can't beat JRPGs because, you know, they're like 100 hours, like Dragon Quest XI, like Xenoblade, like Persona 5. I want to, I just don't have the time. But yet, as time goes on, I more and more value like your 2 to 3 hour games that you can maybe that it's like a 2 to 3 hour game that getting like all the achievements takes like 5 to 6 hours, but that you can just fully go in and enjoy. Goose Game, Cardo was another one that I played earlier this year. Yeah, no, I just, as time goes on, I more and more value these little gaming experiences. And this seems to be in this realm. Of course, I think it comes out, this holiday? Or I don't actually even have a date for this one. But I don't know. It looks interesting. Next up is Loop Hero. Loop Hero is one of those games that I heard about earlier this year. Like, right, you know how like Hades was like the big indie game last year? It was my game of the year. I don't remember if it was the Game Awards game of the year, but it was something along those lines. Right, Hades was this huge indie game. Everyone was talking about it. That's been Loop Hero this year. Admittedly, I don't feel like people are talking about Loop Hero right now as much as they were Hades. Like, I know the Game Awards is, 4 months away. And definitely, like, the fever was like, oh, Hades is gonna win it. I haven't been hearing that for Loop Hero this year. But, like, early on in, like, January or February, I was already hearing, like, oh, Loop Hero is the game of the year. Already. Like, right off the bat, they've nailed it. And I've been waiting for it to come to Switch. It was announced that it will eventually come to Switch, because I think right now it's Steam exclusive. It might be on one of the consoles, but I don't know. But it has been announced to be coming to Switch this holiday, which is still a while away, and that does suck. But, hey, you know what? I'll take what I can get. I've heard nothing but great things about Loop Hero. You know, one day the Switch is going to get freaking Factorio, and that's it. Like, that's... Oh my god. Because I saw that again, because I think was it Phil Spencer who was talking about how they got their hands on the Steam Deck, and they messed around with it for like a week so far, and how just like good it is, and how well it runs xCloud and everything. And that's like some of the thing, like once the Switch got Stardew Valley, it was like, oh shit, you can play Stardew Valley on, right, wherever you want. That's Factorio for the Steam Deck. You can play Factorio wherever you want. Holy shit, this is a game changer. But yeah, Loop Hero looks fantastic. Fantastic. Everyone I know who's played it loves it. More or less, you know. So yeah, I'm interested in it. And I think it's another roguelike, because you know what big game isn't a roguelike nowadays? I'll play it when it comes to Switch, and by that time I will have a Switch again. Because yeah. But yeah, that's this holiday. Next up, Garden Story. Garden Story was like this cute little game about like a grape hero. Not dissimilar. I think it's an adventure game, not dissimilar to like a Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, which I still need to play at some point. Because that game also looks pretty cute, and you know, with a title like that, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, how can you go wrong? And yeah, Garden Story is like this little game about a grape. It always looked kind of cute, and it's finally out, and gosh dang it. And yeah, it's available today. So it's already out. If you want to go play a Garden Story, you can go do that right now. Which I haven't, but hey, if that's something you want to do, go right ahead. I don't know, it looked pretty decent. I don't know what other people are saying about it, admittedly. But I think it looked decent. And yeah, it could be, again, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion looked fun as well, and I know we're getting these similar-ish games right. Like it's been a few months since Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, but yeah, I don't know. I like the Zelda likes. Blossom Tale was pretty good back a few years ago. God, I did terrible. Even coming, I don't think we got this. Yeah, no, we need to move up to 7th. God. But yeah, Yeah, Garden Story. The one that surprised me, Axiom Verge 2, available now. So, Axiom Verge, a Metroidvania that people loved. I think the original was actually backed by Sony, if I remember correctly. I think Sony helped fund the original Axiom Verge. And now Axiom Verge 2 is... I don't think it's Switch exclusive, because I know some of these games are on Steam and Epic Game Store and whatnot. Like, I think I saw Garden Story on Steam when I logged into Steam the other day. So I think that's there, but yeah, no, Axiom Verge 2 available now. Because I know we got some information about that at E3, but I didn't expect the available today. I also haven't heard any, like the first Axiom Verge I did play. It's good. It's a very good Metroid game. It leans very heavily into Metroid, right? I know the genre is called Metroidvania, but yeah, Axiom Verge is very Metroid, very little Vania. But it's a good game. I enjoyed it for what it is. It's no Hollow Knight, but what is, or Super Metroid. But no, the sequel looked pretty good, and yeah, I'll get around to it one of these days. I kind of want to replay the first one, though, at some point. Because it's been a long time since I played the original Axiom Verge, and I kind of don't... Like, I know you get transported into the other dimension, and I know there's something... Like, you're a different protagonist in this one. But yeah, like, I remember you get transported into the other dimension, there's the weird babyface thing, there's the glitch gun, which was a neat mechanic. It's been so long. Yeah, Axiom Verge was good. It's just interesting that, like, I think it got revealed at a Nintendo conference. But yeah, the original game was, like, funded by PlayStation or something like that. Because it's only made, at least the original was only made by a single person. Which, yeah, you hear indie success stories like that all the time. There was actually a big thread going around recently. I know I saw Jason Schreier talking about it. About, like, indie game contracts and, like, companies will, like, try to offer, like... Oh, I think the guy had, like... Was offered, I think, like, $500,000 for like, to work on his indie game. But, like, there were, like, all these stipulations. Like, he only received profits once it sold a certain number of copies, and it was just really interesting. But yeah, that was a Twitter thread that was going around recently. Next up, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. So people always talk about like, oh, we want to see Silk Song at one of these indie directs. Because I think Silk Song was revealed at one of these indie directs. And every time people get their hopes up, and every time it doesn't happen. Because at this point, Silk Song has kind of become too big. And Hollow Knight in general have become too big for these indie showcases. And I kind of feel the same way about Shovel Knight. I think Shovel Knight has gotten too big for these indie showcases. But, because Yacht Club Games started doing their own streams, what, 2 years ago now? I remember it being in class and watching, like, and, you know, we had the, and, like, putting it, like, on the desk and watching it. Like, it was, like, stadium seating style thing, and, like, you know, trying not to get caught. But, because guess what? I'm one of those people who follows the fucking rules, because I'm a fucking square. But yeah, admittedly I did something similar with the Indie Direct this week, but yeah. Similar. But, what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, Shovel Knight's had, like, I think the Shovel Knight Dig, that was revealed at one of Yacht Club Games' own presentations. As was probably this game, Pocket Dungeon. That was revealed at one of Yacht Club Games' presentations. God, did we have 2 people drop out? Really? Fuck. How? Oh, God. I'm just getting the worst luck tonight. Yeah, both of our teammates dropped out. But yeah, so yeah, I think Shovel Knight's kind of bigger than Indie Directs nowadays, but Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon was still here. Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon is like their mobile game. It wouldn't surprise. I don't think it's an Apple Arcade game. It might be, but it seems like it would be like, oh hey, get Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon on Apple Arcade. Right? Kind of like the Exit the Gungeon was an Apple Arcade game, or what was the other big one? It wasn't called Undermine. Undermine was a different, was a roguelike that I saw on Game Pass that I was going to play, and now I don't think it's on Game Pass anymore. And that I was just going to check out. Admittedly, I don't know how far I would have gotten in it, because roguelike. But yeah, what was that game? Not Forager. I don't remember what it was called, but there was like that game also came to Switch eventually. There's some good Apple Arcade games. I know they tried. Admittedly, I think Apple Arcade is still a thing, but there was like a brief window when everyone was talking about it, and I haven't heard a lick of it since then. And that was 2 years ago now. Exit the Gungeon was fun enough. I know Google Play also has their own version of Apple Arcade. I don't remember what that's called. But yeah, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon looks like one of those games, but it doesn't come out until this holiday, so that's still a while away. And I know Shovel Knight Dig is supposed to come out at some point, but that game feels like it was announced. In my personal opinion, Shovel Knight Dig was announced too early. Because I think it was announced in 2019, and it doesn't come out. And even at the time, they were like, we're announcing it now, but it doesn't come out until 2021. Yeah, that was a game that I definitely feel like was announced too early. And now Shovel Knight did. And Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon was kind of in a similar boat, especially because it was announced after Dig, and it probably is coming out before Dig, because we haven't heard anything about Dig in a while. At some point they did reveal a new night for Dig. I don't know, this Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon looks pretty cute. And it's Shovel Knight. You know, Shovel Knight's one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite. So, of course, a new one I'm always down for. And mainly when they were showing it, I was like, oh, is it going to be soon? Come on, be soon. And then, nope, this holiday. But I love Shovel Knight. Great game, great series. It's kind of one game, but it's also 4 games, so series. Sure, let's go with that. I don't know, I have full faith in whatever Yacht Club does nowadays, so... Because, again, that one game is really good. They made one game, but they made it really good, and they basically made 4 games. And they made 4 games and charged less than a single AAA game. Just shows how rotten the industry is. Next up, Islander Console Edition. This is another one that was available now, and we will talk about it later, because I did actually play this one. So we'll get back to that. Tetris Effect. Yeah, Tetris Effect of all game. I know Tetris Effect is on Xbox Game Pass, but I've always wanted to play it on PlayStation PS4, because, you know, I think that's where it started and everything. And I just never... It's one of the only PS4 games I don't think I ever got around to getting. Like, I got Monster Hunter World. I got... I had a list at some point. Do I still have my list? I got God of War. I got Horizon. I got... Admittedly, I think my PS4 came with those. I got Bloodborne. I got Gravity Rush. I eventually did get Dreams. What the fuck is that? I even got freaking Astrobot VR. Haven't played it because I don't have VR, but I own it. I got all these games on PS4, and yet I never picked up Tetris Effect. And I know it's on Game Pass nowadays, so I should probably just play it on that. But yeah, even though I'm not a big Tetris fan, I enjoy Tetris for what it is. And I've just heard nothing but amazing things about Tetris Effect. I have heard nothing but amazing things about that game, how good it is, how amazing the soundtrack is. And I was like, at some point I will play it, but yeah. It's on Game Pass and it's available on Switch in October. So yeah, that's October 8th. Next up, Slime Rancher. So I just played Slime Rancher earlier this year. I think I talked about that around E3, that I played it. Yeah, I played it around E3. Really enjoyed it. I played it on Game Pass. Really fun little Slime Rancher game. Sequel's coming out, I think, next year. I think that was announced at the Xbox Games Showcase thingy. And yes, it's just a fun game, and I'm surprised it wasn't already on Switch. But yeah, no, it's finally coming to Switch, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it when I finally played it earlier this year. I recommend it. I think a Switch port would run fine. I didn't have any problems with the Xbox. Like, it ran even though you have a bunch of stupid slimes on screen, the Xbox version ran perfectly good. So I'm sure the Switch, and I'm using a base model Xbox, and I know the Switch is about as powerful as a base model Xbox. Well, Xbox One, I should say. So yeah, I'm sure it'll run fine. I don't know. They called it like Switch Edition, which, you know, does have me like, oh, is there something like, how many sacrifices did they have to make to like call it something special? I don't think it was called, maybe it was called Slime Rancher Handheld Edition. There was something to the name. But yeah, no, it's a good game. It's a good fun game, that Slime Rancher. Recommend it. And then finally Eastward, which is a game from Chucklefish, Chucklefish has done some good stuff. They helped fund Stardew. I know they have some sort of connection to Stardew, even though that's Concerned Ape. They did Wargroove. Of course, Chucklefish has had their own controversies they've had their own controversies of mismanagement and whatnot. Not nearly as bad as like a Niantic, but I should be a parent with that. I may call out AAA studios like Activision, Blizzard, EA, and Ubisoft, which fuck all those companies. But you gotta be fair, gotta call out your Chucklefishes and your Niantics. I don't know, it looks like a good game, but I don't know if I'll be picking it up. I don't know, usually with these smaller studios, they are more apparent to action. So, but I don't know what changes have happened. I just know I know nothing has happened with Niantic. Niantic has done some terrible things and screwed some people over, and I don't think they've done anything to change. So, admittedly, I don't know. Do your own research. I definitely haven't checked up on the situation in a while since it was developing, but I know that was a thing. So just being completely transparent here. But yeah, as an indie direct goes, and there were a few other things, like I said earlier, Astroneer was in there. What was another? There were a few other things whose names I don't remember. There was not Was that? Oh, fuck. You know what I didn't have written down here? Boyfriend Dungeon. Fuck, how did I forget Boyfriend Dungeon? Fuck. Okay, so Boyfriend Dungeon is a dating game mixed with a dungeon crawler. I don't know if it's a roguelike, but it's a dating game mixed with a dungeon crawler where you date your weapons and they eventually turn into pretty boys. What? That's so fun. I saw Laura Kate Dale was streaming it earlier today. And like that's right up their alley. And I'm like, you know, I've never played a dating sim before. I don't know. I could see it being one of those games that I could have a good time with. But like this is like, oh, that's so much fun. And I have heard a few people talk about this and say that it is fun. But yeah, I don't know if I'll play it, but it seems like, oh, that's fun. Boyfriend Dungeon? You're dating swords and anime boys? Ah, what a fun idea. I don't know, I just love that idea. It's kind of dumb, but I just kind of love it, you know? Go for it. Go for it. Make the game of your dreams, you know? Boyfriend Dungeon. Makes me so happy. That's what I will say about it. But yeah, that's the Indie World Showcase. And it's pretty good. It was a pretty good one. Again, I only need one game for an Indie Showcase to be a success. And everything I just listed off, I'm at least somewhat interested in. How much will I actually pick up? In any given Indie Showcase, I pick up anywhere from 0 to like 10% of what's shown off. But to be fair, I have already usually it's like, oh, I won't pick up anything for for 6 months after an Indie Showcase. I've already picked up a game from the showcase, so it's at least doing. I don't know if those 4 are our teammates or if one just dropped. But yeah, I've already picked up one from this showcase. And yeah, a game like Slime Rancher, I already played earlier this year. I'm not going to pick that up. Axiom Verge, I'm going to replay the first one. Tetris Effect, I'd probably just play on Game Pass instead. But yeah, no, Loop Hero, super excited for that. This Pocket Dungeon, super excited for that. Those are definitely things that I will pick up day one. Boyfriend Dungeon, which I think is available now, will I pick it up eventually? Maybe not, but you never know. You never know. And even stuff like Sayonara Wild Hearts, I only picked up this year, and it's been on my wish list for like 2 or 3. So literally anything is possible at this point. But yeah, no, I think you just need one game to make an indie showcase a success. And Nintendo just delivers. Nintendo knows how to deliver good indie showcases, and they've just been nailing it this past year. With all the things about Nintendo Directs and how Nintendo have been failing Directs and right the Direct Minis and the partner presentations and everything, with all those problems, Nintendo has been consistently nailing indie showcases, or Nindies, which they used to be called. Now it's Indie World. Nintendo has just nailed it. And yeah, this is we're out. Even winning, that doesn't get... Because I think we get bonus points for winning. I don't know, but yeah, even then. Yeah. But yeah, no. Just another successful indie showcase. Next up, GTA... So GTA... We have been, I think Gavin Free made a joke the other day about how if GTA continues at its current rate of game releases, we've only got about 3 to 4 GTAs left in our lifetime. Because, you know, it's been, I think it's coming up on 10 years since GTA 5 dropped. And we're nowhere close, it's probably less than that. But we're nowhere closer to GTA 6. I mean, I think Rockstar said, 2025 or 2026? Yeah, we are nowhere closer to GTA 6. So, right, we've only got like 5 or 6 or 3 or 4 GTAs in our lifetime before the next one. But there is a rumor going around, and this is Nibelian in Twitter, at least where I saw it, and it's rumor. Rockstar is working on a remaster of all 3 classic Grand Theft Auto games. All remasters will use Unreal Engine and mix old and new visuals, coming late October, early November to PC, PS4/PS5, Xbox, Xbox Series X/S, Switch, mobile, and Stadia. The mobile part I find interesting. I mean, I know you can emulate some of the old GTA games. I know people did do that. Like, we're not in the Chinatown Wars days anymore. But yeah, no. A remake of GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA San Andreas. This is one of those rumors that's too good to be true. Like this, like if this had been like a 4chan leak, it would be like, no, nobody would ever believe this because it's too good to be true. The idea, right, some of the best GTA games all getting a remaster, amazing. This sounds amazing. It's too good to be true. It's too fucking good to be true. But I would love this. It'd be nice to get a GTA game on Switch. It still surprises me that GTA 5 isn't on Switch. It's got to do something with I bet it's something to do with GTA Online. That's the only explanation that makes sense to me. But I love this. I would love this. I've never, admittedly, the only game of these 3 games I've actually played is Vice City. Because I didn't play San Andreas and I didn't play GTA 3. But I fucking love Vice City. Vice City is, yeah, it's my favorite GTA game. Easy. I used to just play that game for hours. And, like, I wouldn't even do anything. I just, like, I do, like, things where it's like, oh, how many cops can I kill? Right? Like, oh, if I hide out and, like, you know, I barricade myself in, how many cops can I kill? Because I in story mode, there's, like, a helicopter mission where you have to, like, you're in a helicopter and you have to, like, take out all these people on, like, a roof. And I could just never beat it. And then I finally did one day, just for, like, months of working on it. Just, you know, like, off and on between me doing stupid shit. And then one day I finally... God, we're in last place. What the fuck? One day I finally beat that helicopter mission. And then, like, later that same day, I beat the game. Like, within, like, 24 hours of doing that stupid helicopter mission. I was so close to the end of the game. Which, it wasn't even, like... Because I think right after that helicopter... Because Vice City is divided into, like, 4 islands. There's 2 big ones and 2, like, small ones. Maybe there's only 1 small one. I don't remember. It's been probably 10 years since I last played Vice City. But the middle... You're flying around the middle island in the helicopter, and I think right after you beat that mission, you unlock the 3rd island. And, like, you can own, like, an ice cream factory or something like... It's something weird like that. Like, you set up money laundering... And you, like, buy a nightclub, you buy, like, an ice cream factory, or maybe it's a newspaper. It's something weird like that. You buy storage garages, and there's a mall. You can, like, there are buildings you can go inside. Like, you can go inside a mall, which, yeah, there were actual buildings you can go inside, which is something that even the newer games don't have. God, so much. Vice City is so much fun. I love that game. But this GTA thing... These remasters, dream come true. I hope this is true. Of course, they're gonna fuck it up somehow. Like, GTA 5 Online's monetization, like the microtransactions, are fucking abysmal. It's one of the worst in the industry. Like, it does not... Like, everyone calls out EA. Everyone calls out Activision Blizzard. We don't call out Rockstar enough. And, Their parent company isn't Xenoblade. Oh, 2K. I mean, I know they do, like, because 2K, NBA 2K20 is basically just a gambling simulator with some basketball in it. But 2K does not get called out nearly enough. right? Because everyone likes to focus their ire on EA, but 2K is just as bad. So they'll find a way to screw, right? Like I said with the Dead Space thing. It seems cool, but they're gonna find a way to screw it up. They always do. But yeah, and then it coming to Switch, that's so cool. Again, I'm still not used to the fact that I have a PlayStation and an Xbox nowadays. Like, I have these things, but yet, bring a game to Switch and I'll actually maybe play it. God, just playing Vice City again. And the soundtrack, God, Vice City's... Like, my entire half of my taste in music. Let's be more general here. Half of my taste in music can be summed up, is, like, influenced by Vice City. Because, God, I love Vice City so much. God, Vice City is so good. Here's to hope. I don't know. Will this... I mean, October, November is 2-3 months away. Which, this hasn't been announced yet. This is just a rumor at this point. I mean, if it's October, November next year, I'd get it. But this year, that's really close. But yeah. I mean, I love this. God, I just love these games so much. Next up, so speaking of announcements, I've seen people chomping at the bit for information on the new Pokemon games. Because Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl come out in November. It's August. That's 3 months away. That's not long. It's less than 99 days. And usually by this point, we have some information on Pokemon. Yeah, usually by this point, we would have some information. We have nothing on these games. And recently I've seen like that getting to people and like people chomping at the bit, wanting some information on this Pokemon games. Of course, Joe Maverick was like, they're probably focusing on Legends Arceus. So they're probably the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is probably just supportive of Legends Arceus, which is going to be the main focus. So that's why we hadn't got any information yet. Because if you look at it from like Legends Arceus as the game they're focusing on, right now the timescale is a lot like more. It makes more sense. So yeah, that's clearly what they're focusing on. But we finally got the Pokemon Presents. It has not happened yet. It's next Wednesday. I think it's the 18th. So it's a few days away. I will not be streaming it. I am in class when that happens. Because, one of my classes, I can only get at 7 a.m. It's fine. But yeah, so I will not be streaming it, but I will be watching it. I might watch it live. Who knows? We'll see. I probably will. Or, somewhat live-ish. But yeah, Pokemon Presents is happening. Any predictions? I think, it's because so Pokemon fans are gluttons who will not be satisfied with all the riches of heaven. Like Animal Crossing fans, like... What's the other example? Pokemon? There's 3 games that just have the cuntiest fan base. Pokemon, at least Nintendo. There are a lot of bad fan bases out there. But the worst 3 for Nintendo are Pokemon, Animal Crossing, and I don't remember the third one. It's not Mario. I don't think it's Zelda. It might be Zelda. But I know. You know what? Honestly, I would not. After some of the shit I've seen this year for the 30th anniversary, 35th, whatever. Yeah, it might be Zelda. But what was I saying? Yeah, no, what's happening with the Pokemon, with the Gen 4 remake, should make everybody happy. Do you want a traditional Pokemon game? Here's Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Do you want the Pokemon Company to do something new? Here's Legends Arceus. It's the best of both worlds. Everyone should be satisfied by this. But you know, the Pokemon fan base sucks. So no, there were a lot of people who really fucking hate the Diamond and Pearl that hate both of these. That think Legends Arceus looks like garbage, and that think Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl look too, like, childish or whatever. Because, you know, Pokemon fans are kind of cunty. And that hasn't changed. Ugh. So yeah, I'm trying to find it right now. Come on, is this... Smash Bros. Fans. Smash Bros. Fans are the other ones. Gluttons who would not be satisfied with all the riches of heaven. Yep. Yep, that makes sense. Sakurai, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about... I guess Sakurai gave an interview today. And I've just been seeing a lot of people talking about it. I haven't actually seen it, but... I've just been seeing, like, reaction to it. Something about how he doesn't like the taste of water, so he just drinks Diet Coke. That's okay. Sure. But yeah, so, but yeah, no, I think these I'm gonna buy both. I'm a slave to the Pokemon brand. Have been since childhood. Nothing has changed. I'm obviously gonna buy both of these. Yeah, I'm probably gonna buy, I don't know, Diamond or Pearl. I don't really know which one. Probably Diamond, but I don't know, because I had Pearl back in the day, so I might, because that's kind of, admittedly, I was going to say that's kind of what I did for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but no, that's not true. I played Ruby first, and then I played Sapphire later. Alpha Sapphire, you know, Omega, yeah, you know what I mean. But, admittedly, I have also played Diamond. I just played it second. But, yeah, I know, I'm excited. Gen 4... So, there was a period after Gen 3, but before Gen 4, where I've talked about this before, where I kind of forgot Pokemon existed. Where I just, like, I just stopped playing any of the Pokemon games. Part of it was I didn't get a DS until, like, 3 or 4 years after the DS launched. I didn't get a DS until well into... sometime before Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Maybe it was around the time Platinum was coming out. Maybe it was... I don't remember when Platinum came out. But it took me a while to get a DS. And I never even had an original model DS. I had a DS Lite. It took me even longer to get a Wii, but that's a story for another day. Not like it was ever that big of an issue. I just played GTA Vice City instead on PS2. Classic. One day we'll get the Simpsons Hit and Run remake. One day. But yeah, so Gen 4, great games. It took them a long time, but they finally get the credit they deserve. Because, right, Pokemon games are never appreciated in their time. It takes years for them to be appreciated. Of course, will that ever happen to Gen 6? I don't know. Because right now, people should be appreciating Gen 6 for being good, and that doesn't seem to be happening, which does kind of suck. Because Gen 6 has some of the best Pokemon designs in the series. Doesn't get enough credit for that. But yeah, no, people seem to not be turning their back on... People still seem to be disliking Gen 6. But give it a few years, and people will realize how good of a game Gen 7 is. Because Gen 7 is my favorite game in the series at the moment. Genuinely fantastic. But yeah, predictions for this Pokemon Presents, like, you know, we always go off on Pokemon rants. That's just the nature of the beast. Predictions at this moment, I expect the Diamond and Pearl remake to be extremely faithful. We know I think it did already get confirmed that they are taking out the battle, not the battle, the casino. Right, there was a casino in Gen 4, a game corner, and they seem to be taking it out. I have no problem with them taking out a game corner, right? I have no problem with that. I just wish they would replace it with something else, right? If you're going to take out the casino, replace it with something new. Don't just, like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire took out the casino, And they just left it empty. Put something else there. Put a different mini game there. Just do something. Don't just leave the space empty. Which, of course, leads to the other thing. I don't expect the Battle Frontier to return. I know that's gonna... People love the Battle Frontier. And there was hints that Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were gonna get, like, a Battle Frontier DLC. That just never happened. People really wanted that Battle Frontier. And it looked like we were going to get like a paid Battle Frontier DLC. Because there were like hints of it in the game. And that just never came to fruition. But Pokemon is the greediest Nintendo series. One day Pokemon will be filled with I mean, they already are. That Pokemon Unite is literally pay to win. But like one day mainline Pokemon games will be filled with microtransactions. Like, you know, like FIFA Team Ultimate and stuff like that. Mark my words. But that day isn't today, luckily. But yeah, no, people want a Battle Frontier. I don't think it's going to happen. It would be awesome if it did. It's not going to happen. It's too good. It'd be too good. Cuz the thing that happened with Pokemon is that at some point the Pokemon Company decided that competitive battling must overshadow everything else. That's why we don't have a Battle Frontier anymore, is because they put competitive battling at the priority instead. Instead of doing like all the weird Battle Frontier gimmick stuff, which people love. Admittedly, I never really messed around with the Battle Frontier as a kid, so I don't really have much of an opinion on it either way. But yeah, no, the Pokemon Company has decided that competitive battling is what matters. And to that end, they have done a fantastic job. Competitive battling is more accessible than it has ever been at any given point in time. To that end, they have greatly succeeded with that. And competitive battling, I don't know, I was able to easily raise a competitive battling team in Gen 8. Haven't really used it all that much, because I don't really do it, but you know, I like the game. I don't care about the competition, but I like the raising of the Pokemon, right? I found that kind of fun for a little bit. But yeah, that's just how Pokemon thinks about it. Because, you know, they're in the Battle Frontier, there's that one battle, like, tower that's just kind of generic battle tower. Like, but, you know, and then there's, like, the mixed battles, the one where you're just given Pokemon and forced to use them. Yeah, the Pokemon Company doesn't care anything about that. They care about the one thing, which has been whatever the battle tower in Gen 8 is, whatever what's it called in the battle tree in Gen 7? Don't remember what the Gen 6 one's called. I think it's the Battle Mansion in Gen 6. Gosh, you know, for all these different doorways, there really doesn't seem to be any alternate paths, does there? That kind of sucks. I really wish there were more alternate paths. Because I feel like there should be. I'm focusing. Give me a second. No! No! Fuck! Fuck! I had it and he didn't grab! The bean didn't grab! Fuck! What the shit was that? I grabbed! I pressed the button! It didn't do it! It did... Fuck! I was there! I had that crown! Ah, shit. Did we get a crown anyways? Did I get enough crown points to get one anyways? You know, I'm surprised. No, I didn't. I'm surprised how many, even for doing like a complete successful, almost successful run, right? We got 1 silver, 3 golds, and then failed in the finale. We only get 200 XP. That's not very much, is it? That doesn't... I mean, I guess it's... 200's not terrible, but, like, you get 500 for the daily challenges. I feel like you should get more than 200. So, yeah, that was my... so, yeah, I don't expect... we're not going to find out about the Battle Frontier. That's going to be something we find out when the game comes out. We already know about the Game Corner stuff, though. And, I don't expect, like, anything, like, people want Pokemon games to be harder. I don't expect any of that. I expect the XP share to work how it has. Which, that's one of them, right? I say I don't beat RPGs, but I still can beat Pokemon games. And part of that is the EXP share. I started replaying Black and White earlier this year. I haven't touched it in weeks, because I have to do some grinding before I do the next gym. But, like, I could pick up, like, Gen 7 and, boom, easily beat it in, like, 2 weeks. Because, you know, I don't have to worry about grinding. Because, you know, this is a weird comparison. But when theaters started doing, like, digital ticket sales, people were complaining that it was, like, ruining the theater experience because it got rid of line culture. And theaters are the main example. There are others. But, like, there's this idea of, like, line culture, where, like, oh, if you want something, like, I guess Fast Pass at Disneyland would be another example. But, like, oh, if you want this thing, you have to wait for it. Line culture or whatever. That's fucking bullshit. That's bullshit and dumb. And I kind of feel the same way about RPGs. That, oh, people who really like RPGs think there's, like, this whole element of grinding. That if you're not grinding in an RPG... are you really playing an RPG? Because, you know, that grind element is necessary in grind culture. No, no, that's fucking stupid. Grind culture is, which is what I'm calling it right now, is fucking stupid. And, like, if you want grind culture, go play fucking Marvel's Avengers. Or fucking Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Where the games are intentionally made grindier by the developers to, you know, make you want to buy the microtransactions. Because these games fucking suck. That's where you want grind culture. No, I want a game that I can play and enjoy. Yakuza Like a Dragon. Like, at one point, like, it's like, oh, to do the next story mission, you have to be 20 levels higher. But hey, don't worry, we're gonna let you do this there's this battle tower here, and guess what? If you complete the battle tower, you'll be 20 levels stronger. It gets rid of the grind more or less. And yeah, grind culture is fucking stupid. And the EXP share, if you don't like it, at least in Gens 6 and 7 and the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you can turn it off. If you don't like the grind, turn it off. And I don't know, and I've seen people claim that Gen 6 is actually an extremely balanced game if you turn off the EXP share. Like, the game actually is really well balanced if you turn it off. But, you know, if you don't want the grind, you can just turn it on. I don't like grind, right? That's one of the reasons I don't... That's not the sole reason I don't play RPGs, but that's a contributing factor. I think grind culture is fucking stupid. And so the modern day Pokemon EXP share, no problem with. I have no problem with that. Never have. And I expect it's going to be here as well. I don't know. It might not. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't. But I would actually be more surprised if it wasn't. Because, you know, it is pretty helpful. It is going to be... It's going to suck not having those Gigantamax candies. Those EXP candies that you get from the Gigantamax raids and Sword and Shield... That's another great way to get around the grind. Those candies are fantastic. And, like, they're more than rare candies. That's a fantastic feature. That really has helped, like, in the post-game with, like, leveling up stuff for competitive play. Yeah, and then, are they going to bring back... Are they going to implement the Gigantamax gimmick into the remakes, kind of like how they implemented the Mega Evolutions into the Gen 3 remakes? I suspect so. I would not be surprised if Torterra Infernape and Empoleon get special, like, Gigantamax forms. Still hate that Gigantamax name. I feel like the name Gigantamax and Dynamax should be switched. That still annoys me, because they definitely feel opposite. But yeah, no, I would not be surprised if the gimmick, right, if that makes it in the game. I don't think it's that great of a gimmick. And people definitely don't, admittedly, it can be implemented well. I think it's kind of a boring gimmick, because it's definitely not as interesting as Mega Evolutions, and I don't think it was implemented well in the game. The fact that your starter can't even Gigantamax until the first DLC, fucking stupid. That was stupid as hell. That should have been in there at launch. But yeah, no, I would not be surprised if they fix some of those problems, and that's here. Of course, I would love Mega Evolution to come back. I think Mega Evolution, it had some problems, especially in Gen 6, that they did fix for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. They fixed those problems. And Z-moves. I know people don't like Z-moves that much. Z-moves are actually, gameplay-wise, in the progression of the game. So the problem with... Okay, we're already on Pokemon rant. Might as well just continue for a minute. So the problem with Mega Evolution was that you get Lucario, you get the Lucario Mega Evolution, and then you get one of the Gen 1 starters, and that's it. Those are the only Mega Evolutions you get until the post-game. There might be like one more, but it's not that many. You do not get that many Mega Evolutions until the post-game of X and Y. And that means you barely use... I know the mechanic's already overpowered as is, but that just means you don't really use the mechanic. At least in the story mode of Gen 6? No, I mean, yes, I had the Lucario, everybody did. But you just... it just was... I don't think the mechanic was implemented that well. I really don't. And I'm waiting for this guy to pop so I can steal his penguin. Bro, I got you. Just give me your penguin when you die. There you go. But yeah, I don't think that Mega Evolution was implemented that well in Gen 6. In Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, on the other hand, you can get Mega Evolution, your starter Mega evolves, and you can I used the electric dog. Not Electrike. Is it called Electrike? The electric dog Pokemon in Gen 3. I used that on my team, and you can just pick up its Mega Stone at any point in the game. So you can use its Mega Evolution before you beat the game. Fantastic. I know at some point I used Altaria. Altaria, you can pick up its Mega Stone before beating the Elite Four. That's good implementation. It's better, at least. Z-moves, on the other hand, you get as the game progresses. You get the normal and fighting types early on. Most Pokemon can learn a normal and fighting type. Then you get the stone for your starter type, right? The water, fire, grass. Then you get the stones for your the final evolutions. You get the Z-moves as you play through the game. Which, yeah, no, Z-moves, for all their problems, just not being as interesting as the Mega Evolutions, they were implemented much better into the game. Mechanics-wise. And they don't get enough credit for that. Dynamax, on the other hand, I mean, yes, you can do it as of the first gym. And yes, it works, technically. But, there are Gigantamax, anyways. But all, the cool Dynamaxing stuff? No, you can't get any of that until you beat the game. Your starter's Dynamax form? Not even in the base game. And yeah, no, I think Dynamaxing was just... yeah, any Pokemon can do it. But they just didn't implement it that well. At least that's my take on it. Is that I don't think they implemented Dynamaxing all that well. Because, the Gigantamaxing is fine, but, it could have been great. It could have been great, and it just wasn't. It just wasn't that interesting. And, I know what they were trying to do, but, Like that, like some of those Gigantamax Pokemon that you see the gym leaders use at like the 3rd gym are so cool, but you never get to use them. And that kind of sucks. I want to use some, like the Gigantamax, I don't know. I can't think of any examples. But you know, I want to use some of those Pokemon, and you can't. Or for the Dynamax. You can use the Gigantamax, but I don't know. I think Gigantamaxing is kind of dumb, and I think Mega Evolution and Z moves did it better. I'll just straight up say it. But, yeah. So, I don't know. That might be in the game. That might not be. I also wouldn't be surprised if it isn't. For Legends Arceus, which we also know they're going to be talking about, the one I expect it to look. I expect both games to look a little better. We already know from the Switch OLED trailer that that Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl looks a little better. I know people don't like the chibi art style. I think the chibi art style is fine. Right? It's better to. There are worse art styles. Oh, I've never seen this one in anti-gravity. Ooh, that's interesting. But Legends Arceus, my one dream would be that they change up the combat. In the reveal trailer, or one of the reveal trailer or the screenshot or whatever, we saw that the combat is turn-based. Turn-based combat is fine. It's what Pokemon's been using for 25 years now. But I would love to see them implement a real-time combat system. You know, like your Final Fantasy VIIs, like your Xenoblades. You know, if you're doing all this new stuff with Legends Arceus, go all the way. Implement especially with like how this open world game is working, where you don't even have to battle Pokemon to catch them. You can just sneak up and catch them. Go all in. Do a real-time battle system. That would be so much more interesting. I know baby steps. The Pokemon Company, even though it's the biggest multimedia franchise of all time, is all about baby steps. Right? The wild area is a baby step to the Crown Tundra. The Crown Tundra is a baby step to Legends Arceus. Nothing has changed. The Pokemon Company loves its baby steps. But still, do real-time combat. Come on. Let that be like the big shocking reveal. Like, hey, you thought we were doing turn-based? Nope. Surprise, we're doing real-time instead. Surprise, surprise, surprise. That's just the one, like, I know it's not going to happen. I know we're still on turn-based. But, like, I think is it also called active time? I don't know. It's something like that. That would be really cool. That would be a nice, genuine, like, hey, this is cool. They're actually doing something, like, really different with this game. I guess my dream is still just that Monolith Soft makes a Pokemon game. That's just still my dream. It'll never happen. But I can dream. I can dream. Anything else? Any other any other predictions? No, I'm still all in on Legends Arceus. I'm way more interested in that than the Diamond and Pearl remake. I'm gonna pick up both, obviously, but I think Legends Arceus has potential to be great. I can, like with any Nintendo Direct style thing, I can predict people are gonna be disappointed. I spent a long time talking about cunty fan bases. That hasn't changed. That has not changed. And I don't expect it to change as well. Because Pokemon fans are kind of cunty. God, when did the fan base get so entitled? Yeah, it always was. I'm gonna go get some more water, and then we'll be right back. We're gonna unbox some Amiibos. Or an Amiibo. So as I'm getting set up here, Hades came out on Xbox Game Pass. I think yesterday or 2 days ago now, and my roommate's been playing it. Fuck. It took me well over a month to beat the game. Probably even like 2 months. He's beat it in about 2 days. And I think he's beaten it more than once. Fuck, man. Like, come on. I mean, admittedly, he plays... Like, I play for maybe an hour a day, if I'm lucky. Fuck, am I really having stream issues right now? Fuck, like, come on. But yeah, he plays for fucking 8 hours a day. I barely get in 1, 2, if I'm lucky. Are we... I didn't just... Fucking... Fuck me. Like, come on here. Like, come on, stream. Yeah, he's just been playing Hades, like, for the past 2 days, and he's already beaten it, I think, more than once. I worked months. Worked months to beat that game, just once. It looks like, god damn it, I can't. I'm all fucking over the place right now on the stream. I don't know what the fuck is wrong. Kill that. Maybe that'll work better. So, I got... Shit. You know, we're crashing right now, so fucking who knows how this looks. But as you know, in chat, I've had it for years now. I've unboxed Amiibo, and we did have a new Amiibo that came out recently, so I thought, let's unbox it. This... Almost dropped it. This took me, what, a month to find? This has been a fucking nightmare. Okay. So normally what I just do is I go to Target, and Target has them. Target's always been like my number one. Target has been my number one supplier since the original Amiibo craze died down. They've done me good most of the time. They've screwed me over like once, maybe twice, but you know, I've always had Best Buy as my backup. I was like, when this came out, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna be able to get it at Target, but there was a shortage, so I couldn't find it at Target. And they didn't have any in person or anything. It was all online orders. So I've been watching this thing pop up on like Amazon and Best Buy for like a month. And it goes up, it goes down immediately. But I had to go to Best Buy recently. This was, I don't know, like a week and a half ago. I go to Best Buy. God damn it, I'm just watching the stream just... So I go to Best Buy and I'm walking in, and you know, I placed a mobile order, so I'm pulling it up on my phone. And as I'm pulling it up, I open the Best Buy app, and I see in your recent searches, I see this Amiibo, and I see the button to add to cart. Wario64 hadn't posted anything about it. There's like one other Amiibo tracker I use, nothing. And I hit add to cart. Sure enough, I get it. I place the thing, and a week later, it was like 3 days, this shows up. Now, I did go to Target earlier today, and I did see, there was like one of the guys who's like pushing the cart to like, for like online, you know, like how they do like the pickup online orders. There was a guy pushing a cart with like 3 of these in it. So I know one of my local Target did have some of these in stores, but by that point I did already have one, so I was just like, oh, I'm gonna open it. Might as well. Or, right, I don't need another one. And I did look on shelves just to see if they had any extra. They didn't. Because even though I'd be a really good scalper, I don't want to be a scalper. I'm not an asshole. Even though I could. Like, there's nothing stopping me. But yeah, this fucking thing was like $24. I think it was even more with shipping because fuck, nothing could... That's also the nice thing about Target, is I don't pay for shipping. God damn it. That stream. But yeah, so we've opened Amiibo, we've opened plenty. Let's... You know, so this thing is fucking stupid. Because, you know, what I'd want this thing to do, it's the Loftwing. Like, you should scan it in Skyward Sword. You're right, you scan the thing, and it should, like, allow you to, like, change the color of your Loftwing and whatever. But no, instead, they locked this, like, vital, like, quick warp feature. That, you know, a definitive edition of a game should just have in it by default. Nope. Instead, they locked it behind this stupid fucking amiibo. Because, you know, because fucking Nintendo, man. Most amiibos do fucking nothing. They just do nothing. And, you know, I get there's the problem with that. But it's normally fine because you're getting a good figure. Like, these are, like, for all the problems I have with this thing, and especially because it's $24 fucking dollars. Admittedly, I expected it to be a little bigger. It's a high quality figure. Like, amiibos, when they first came out, were Funko Pops. They were fucking Funko Pops. And now they've gone up in price. So, like, I know Funko does, like, their more higher quality stuff. They don't do that many of them, but they do. That's kind of what amiibos have become. They've become, like, as they went up in price, they were originally, like, $12. Now I think they're, like, 16. But the price increase has done an increase in quality. Right? They do, like, you look at, like, the original, like, Marth. And then you look at, I don't know, like a Corrin or something like that. Even though I think Corrin was also $12. You look at Byleth. And it's just night and day. I don't have Byleth's over there. But yeah, it's just, for all the price that they've gone up, they have gone up in quality. I will say that. But this, like, the fact that because this is basically like a microtransaction. Like, I'll be honest, it's not much different. But at least you're getting a nice figure out of it. But even still, this fucking, I mean, like, the fact that it, like, there's this vital, like, warp feature that allows you to travel instantaneously between the sky and the surface. A really cool feature. The fact that it's locked behind a stupid amiibo is dumb as hell. That, God, it pisses me off. It's like, just make it change the color of your stupid bird. Like in Skyward Sword, you have, like, the red special bird. Allow you to make, like, a rainbow bird that can be whatever you want it to be. That would be, like, I know I say that cosmetic DLC isn't just cosmetic. But, you know, I'm willing to cut it some slack. Because, you know, you're getting a nice figure with it as well. And I dropped it. But yeah, but, you know, I'm still a slave to Nintendo. Of course, the only amiibo that works with Skyward Sword is this one. And the actual Skyward Sword Link amiibo that they made years ago, they didn't reprint it, and it doesn't work with Skyward Sword. Which annoys me, because that's one of the few ones I was missing. And I was really hoping they were going to reprint it. And they just didn't. So, nope. No Skyward Sword Link for me. Instead, I just have Skyward Sword Zelda. So let's fucking pop this baby open. Fuck. That's, like, getting, like, it, like, difficult, like, to whip out is one thing. Just the bat completely pulling off sucks. I also, like, I expected it to be a little bigger, and I also expected it to be a little heavier. Like, that's the other thing I will say. I expected it to weigh a little more. It's actually very light. I have no idea how much of this is being seen right now. Because I'm still fucking all over the place. For no fucking reason. Like, my internet's fine. Full 10 bars. Full 90 frames per second. Even though I only stream at, what, 30? It's fucking stupid. Fucking stupid as hell. But yeah, it does have a little plastic piece down right at the bottom of the Loftwing. But, you know, I've always been fine with the plastic pieces. I don't know if I can get it to focus. Come on. Yeah, there's some nice detail there. Again, don't know how much of this you're seeing. Because it wants to focus on my face. And I can't really get out of the shot. Because, you know, I only have this much room. And it wants to focus on my face. Yeah, but yeah, the feathers on the bird, Zelda herself. Yeah, whatever. It's a nice figure. It's a high, right? It looks nice. Admittedly, Zelda and the Loftwing's a weird figure, but it looks good. This is a very good figure, but yeah, I expect it to be a little bigger, maybe a little heavier. Especially because, like, I think the only other amiibo that was, like, this much was, like, the Guardian. And that thing's actually pretty big, and that thing's pretty hefty. I think so. I think that's the only other one that's gone over, like, 20. Now, there probably is one other, but I couldn't tell you. I'm still surprised Nintendo fucking makes... Like, outside of Smash Bros., I'm still surprised Nintendo makes these. But, yeah, I'm a slave to the brand. What else can I do? These are my microtransactions. It happened to me, and it can happen to you. Yours may be FIFA Ultimate Team loot boxes or Pokemon Unite loot boxes. Because, you know, that's a pay-to-win game, but it'll happen to you. I forget how, like, the loft... Like, you see the, like, curly tail? I forget that Loftwings have, like, that big of a tail. I didn't even realize that until the figure. Still haven't played Skyward Sword. Nope, and I won't get to it this weekend. But yeah, that's Amiibo. Let's go back to the crashing stream, shall we? Will that work better? Come on. Fucking work with me here. I'm all over the place. I'm dropping frames like crazy. Oh god, and it's got even worse. I should be fine. I should be getting perfectly fine speeds. My internet's fine. Let's see, I'm running a speed test right now. Oh my god, it's only giving me 2 up. Really? I normally get over 12. Yeah, it's only giving me 2 up. Fuck. Not like I have anything open. You know, we don't have much left. Let's just fucking get back to it, shall we? If the stream's broken, the stream's fucking broken. What else is new? Like, fuck me. And I don't, like, this, I don't think this is an issue on my end. Because, again, everything else is running fine for me. But, like, I have had no problems with Fall Guys at all night. And that should have affected things. And we've never had problems before. But we had problems yesterday. And, admittedly, this isn't as bad as it was yesterday. Yesterday was I was getting 10. Like... And right now, right now I'm bouncing up and down between, you know, 2,000 and 0. I don't think I've hit 0. But, you know, I'm bouncing between 3,000 and nothing. So what have I been doing? What have I been doing? Well, so I've been, give me a second. I'm trying to pull up my list right now. I know some of the things, but I don't remember the order. Okay, yeah, I just remembered. So, okay, we got two things to talk. So, as you know, in May, I was trying to finish Taz Graduation. The Adventure Zone Graduation. God, I don't know what audio is coming through either. Fuck. You know, I may say, the second half of the stream. I may talk about this again next week. Fuck. Fuck everything. But, so I was doing Taz Graduation, and I was listening to an episode a day while playing through, I think, Just Cause, and I eventually beat Just Cause, but then I started, for a while, I was playing Mini Metro. Like, near the end, when I was really struggling to finish Graduation, and like, immediately after June 1st hit, I just gave up. I was playing Mini Metro. Well, recently, the sequel to Mini Metro, Mini Motorway, came out on Steam. Mini Motorway, it's Mini Metro, but with cars. So, you know, let's just talk about Mini Motorway real quick, and we'll get back to Taz. But, so, Mini Motorway, I from what hearing people talk about it, I thought it was just going to be more Mini Metro, right? Where you draw the lines, and you just watch the trains, and you got to send them to their specific places. And technically that is true, because you're drawing lines to build roads between, I don't know, one of the videos I was watching was calling them supermarkets and cinemas and houses, right? Because you want people to go to the houses. And so that's the fun, that's like the aspect of it. And to that end, yes, you are making your construction things, but I think the game has a very different feel than Mini Metro. Like, actually sitting down to play it, to like build roads and whatnot. No, the game feels very different from Mini Metro, or from Mini Metro. Mini Motorway feels very different, and to that end, I'm glad. But yeah, so I sat down, Mini Motorways came out, and I was like, yeah, no, I love Mini Metro. God, I can't believe I didn't say this already. Mini Metro is one of my favorite games of all time. Like if I were to make like a top 10 favorite games list, Mini Metro would probably be at number 10. I love the game. So I just, the slight like puzzle nature of it, building the metros, just a super fun game that like I can play for hours, and I have played for hours. So Mini Motorway, I was like, yeah, I'm going in, and I don't know if I'd say Mini Motorway is as good as a Mini Metro, because admittedly I've put less time into it, and like, one of the things that Mini Metro did is, like, as time goes on, it adds more and more content, and you have the daily challenges, and Mini Motorways will probably eventually do the same. Like, they'll probably add, like, new locations and new content and whatnot, but we're still a ways off from that. The game just launched a few weeks ago, so there's not that many places to go. There are daily challenges, and I don't remember if Mini Motorway had a weekly challenge, but yeah, Mini Metro, I don't remember if it had a weekly challenge, but this one does. And yeah, of course, I'm not amazing at the game. I think the highest score I've gotten so far is like, I haven't cracked 2,000 yet. I think it was like 1,800 something. So I have yet to crack 2,000, but I have been playing Mini Motorways, and I've been enjoying it. It's a fun game. I do recommend, if you like Mini Metro, it's similar. It's a lot of the same, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And yeah, I've been having fun with that. But while playing that, I was like, because it's a great podcast game. So for that, I was like, you know what? If I'm sitting down and playing Mini Motorway, I might as well listen to a podcast. So I put on Taz Graduation, which, again, I only had like 3 episodes left in. And I finished Taz Graduation. God, I don't know what of this is getting through. Yeah, I finished Taz Graduation on... Did I finish it on like Tuesday? I don't remember. But whatever it is, I finally finished it. So, my thoughts on Taz Graduation, having finally finished it? I like it. Honestly, I don't think it's... I don't even know if it's good. But I do definitely think that by the end... Spoiler alert for all of Taz Graduation, by the way. I do think that by the end, it does come together. And, like, I don't think, I feel like Amnesty came together better. Like, the last 2 arcs of Amnesty, I was fully invested. I was totally in it. I don't know if that ever happened for Graduation. Fucked me. Ah, god damn it. I couldn't push back and... But yeah, I don't know if that ever happened for Graduation. Like, I don't know if I was ever like, oh, I'm fully invested in this. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Graduation. For what? For, you know, for what? Like, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, it's got a lot of problems. But when I look back on it in like a few years, I'll be like, no, I enjoyed it. And yeah, as of this moment, like, just even thinking back to what I listened to in May, I'm like, no, that's fine. That's fine. Is it good? I don't know. But is it bad? I don't think so. I don't think so. I wouldn't go that. Yeah, there were some bad elements, and there were some moments where I was like, ugh. Because, like, Argo Keen has both the best and worst development in the show. Like, I think Argo has, like, the most complete story arc. Him versus the Commodore is really well done. I like all of, like, the surprises and, like, the twists in there. Really good stuff. It gets us out of all of the 3 characters, it gets the best payoff. Argo has the best story arc and it gets, like, the best payoff. But sometimes, like, the way, and, like, as a rogue, I think, like, Clint plays him pretty well. But sometimes, some of the shit Clint does as Argo, like, some of the lies he gets him into, it's just like, oh my god, it's hard to watch, in, like, a cringe kind of way. But, like, Argo, but that doesn't change the fact that Argo gets the best story arc, and, like, is, like, a character I'm, like, genuinely invested in. All the other characters, you know, the Fearbulk is fun, and I kind of like where they go with him. Fitzroy is interesting. I like that by the end, spoiler alert again, he switches majors. He goes from a knight to a lawyer, and I'm like, yeah, no, that, because, like, I was listening to the after show, like the Adventure Zone, and they were talking about how, like, Graduation was meant to be like the college experience. And, like, switching majors is a part of that. And I can relate to that. And yeah, like, trying to capture the college experience. I know, so I was, one of the reasons why I was like, yeah, I need to finish Graduation is because of the Sarah Zed video, which I watched the first hour of, but then I didn't want spoilers for the end of Graduation, even though I kind of basically knew how it was going to end. I still wanted to finish it first, and I haven't watched the Sarah Zed video yet. I'll get around to that. God, I don't know what's even coming through. Fuck, we're gonna have to talk about all of this again next week. Fuck. But I watched the Sarah Zed video, and I was like, you know, I want to finish this. And one of the complaints that from the little I listened to her talk about Graduation, one of the complaints was like that, oh, they started off with the school premise and immediately abandoned it. And on one end, I see that, but at the same time, I do kind of disagree. Like, I do feel like they do. It's not like they, like, go into it too much, but they do definitely talk about it. Okay, give me a minute. I'm gonna look at something. Okay, let me see. Is any of this coming through? I genuinely have no idea at this point. I'm looking right now, and the frame rate... Oh, it's choppy. Okay, let me see. Is any of this coming through? I genuinely have no idea. I can't tell. I can't tell. I mean, I heard that, but yeah. But yeah, so I watched the Sarah Zed thing. And the Sarah Zed thing, so I need to finish that. But yeah, that was one of the complaints. But I kind of get it. And like the Unbroken Chain was supposed to be like a fraternity, and I see it. I see that. I don't know. And then it's also just interesting to like hear the adventures, the Adventure Zone, when Travis is like, yeah, I know, I almost considered giving up on graduation and bringing in somebody else to finish it. And it's like, oh, that's, yeah, I kind of get that. And that's just like internal. That's not even like looking at like external, which again, I need to finish that Sarah Z video because from what I get, people really fucking hated graduation. And I kind of see it. Yeah, because I definitely didn't love it, and it took me, what, a year plus to finish it? But and the other thing, the thing, a positive thing I will say, though, is the finale for graduation. The final battle, I really fucking enjoyed. Like, the final battle in Amnesty, it's not really anything that special. Like, I'm more invested in everything else, like the actual characters, and the final battle was just kind of whatever. Even balance, like them fighting the hunger, it was the hunger, right? Was just kind of, yeah. I was more interested in the Lucretia stuff that was like came like right before it, and the stuff that comes after. But the final battle in graduation with like the dimensions like destroying themselves, and like they turn into kittens at one point, and they turn into themselves. Like, they turn into Griffin, Justin, and Clint. And, like, they switch bodies. And, like, it's just, like, an all-around, like, crazy finale. And I was like, that's fun. I thought the final battle in graduation was just all around really fun. Which is something I will give it. And that maybe that is coloring my view of it, because I did really enjoy the final battle. So I guess I will say that. God, I feel like the grab button doesn't work for me half the time. And then people can grab me from like a meter away, which is fucking stupid as hell. But yeah, I don't know. Graduation for sure has its problems. Like, I'm not gonna deny that. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't have fun, and I do think it definitely could have been worse. Like, and I know a lot of it is political. Like, there is this whole political aspect to graduation, because, you know, their kind of end game is to overthrow the government and, like, bring in a new, right, they're destroying capitalism. And I know for some people I could see that being a fucking problem for people. God damn it, how did that shark catch up to me so fast? But yeah, so I immediately, and then like so as part of that Sarah Z thing, I know in that video she talked about how like, oh, one of the people's problem with Travis is that he's like too political, he's too like social justice-y, which, and that goes back to the whole thing about fucking liberals, where liberals, Democrats, and leftists all fucking hate each other, and we can't agree on anything, which is totally true. That's just how I think about it. Like, that liberals, leftists, and Democrats fucking hate each other. They don't agree. Like that's why Trump was president. Because when push came to shove, Republicans, people on the right, rightists, I guess, and conservatives were all able to get under Trump. Trump called Ted Cruz's wife a whore. And then within a week, Ted Cruz was was working for Trump. Like, to help him get elected. Because when push came to shove, Republicans, conservatives, and rightists can work together. The same cannot be true for Democrats. The same is not true for Democrats, liberals, and leftists, which is why we're so fucking divided. I don't even know why I'm still fucking going here. Honestly, with the stream just being fucking broken as hell, I don't know why I'm still going. And I'm gonna have to re-say all of this next week. Because fuck me. Right? God. But fuck. But yeah, so I guess that's people's problem, like one of people's problems with Travis, which admittedly I do remember when that Among Us thing happened. I was watching that stream when he called them out for using he called them out for using like honey or something like that, and he's like, no, you shouldn't use that, you should use partner. And it's like, what the fuck, Travis? Like, come the fuck on. Like, who? Fucking Christ, Trav. It was something stupid like that. And it's like, come the fuck on, Travis. Really? Really? But, yeah. So, but admittedly, and yeah, I can see that being a complaint for graduation, because it is very political. But then again, college is very political, because that's kind of when you figure out who you are. And I'm not talking in the way that, like, Republicans talk about college, as in, like, Republicans believe that college is like a mind control institution that, like, forces liberal views on you because, you know, thinking is liberal. I mean, that's how conservatives see it, because they don't think. Yeah, yeah, for what it, like, I don't think graduation is good, but I also don't think it's bad. I don't know, I'm gonna finish that Sarah Z video at some point, and then what was the new one that I don't know. I've been really into Sarah Z. Now that I've finally started watching their stuff, yeah. So yeah, so I did that. I haven't started Ether C, is that what it's called? Haven't started Ether C yet. I'll get around to it eventually. I don't know, I'm kind of busy right now. And I don't think Skyward Sword would be a good fucking podcast game. And I'm behind in every other podcast as well. Like, I was trying to get caught up on Fuckface, and I'm like 5 or 6 episodes behind in Face Jam. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, I'm behind. I'm like 3 or 4 behind in the RT podcast, 2 behind in off topic, the one I was usually able to keep track on. Nope, I'm even behind in that one. And yeah, I just don't think Skyward Sword would be a good podcast game. So, you know, we're going to talk about one. I had other things. We're going to talk about one more. Right, like I said earlier, I was trying to get caught up in Face Jam, or Fuckface. And so when the indie showcase happened, you know, I was curious last night after the stream crashed, and I was like, you know what, I still want to play some games. So I looked up, at the new indie games that were dropped for the Nintendo Indie World Direct. And I was like, yeah, you know, let's see if, like, how much any of these new games are. Maybe I'll pick up one of them. Because the one I was because I've been playing Mini Motorway, I keep screwing them up. I keep switching back and forth between Mini Motorway and Mini Metro. But because I was playing Mini Motorway, I was like, oh yeah, I saw that Islanders game at the Indie World Showcase, and I was like, you know, this kind of reminds me of like a Mini Motorway style game. Maybe I'll play some of this, right? This would be a good podcast game. And when I looked up last night to see how much it was, it's only $5. And I'm like, $5 for this little indie game about like island building? Oh yeah, sure. I think I paid 10 for Mini Motorway. Fuck yeah, I'll spend $5 to buy this little. That was stupid. Me falling off that button was fucking stupid. I'll pay $5 for this little island building indie game. And so I did, and I listened to an episode like an episode and a half of the Fuckface podcast. And yeah, so let's talk about Islanders real quick. And again, I'll probably rehash this all next week, but because I'll probably have played more of it. But I enjoyed Islander. I've been enjoying it. It's even simpler than like a Mini Metro or a Mini Motorway. It's even simpler. It's all about like you build like islands, and you place buildings, and you get like bonuses for placing buildings next to one another. Like, oh, you can build a windmill, but you get a bonus for placing a windmill next to I don't know. You get a bonus for placing a windmill next to I don't know, like a farm or something. Or you can build a town hall, And you get a bonus for placing houses next to it, and there's like these monuments that you get bonuses for placing stuff next to and whatnot. And it's just about like racking up high score. And yeah, it's just for like a little $5 indie game that I totally was definitely a mobile game at one point. Like, it would not surprise me if it was an Apple Arcade game or something like that. It's fun. It's not too complex. It's all about getting high score. There is a sandbox mode, but I mostly focus on like the high score. I am currently ranked like top 1,000 in the world, at least for the for the console edition, which I doubt that many people have. But yeah, I'm currently ranked in the top 1,000. I think I'm even like top 800 or something like that. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's good. Cause like in many motorways, I like at one point I was in the top 1,500 for one of the daily challenges, which I was only top 1,500 because like it had just started like an hour ago. But like other than that, I'm like 40,000 deep for mini motorway. But yeah, no, Islanders has been fun. It's very simple. It's very much another podcast game for $5. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's not like when I do the game of the year list at the end of the year, mini motorway is probably making it on there. Islanders probably isn't, but I enjoyed Islanders. I have been. I'm gonna play more of it. Of course, I bought it on Switch, and I can only play Switch games for like 30 minutes at a time. So, but yeah, it's fine. It's a fine little game. And yeah, there were some other stuff I was going to talk about. Still haven't played Skyward Sword. I said that already, but yeah, I haven't played it. That hasn't changed. Maybe now that I've opened the Amiibo, not like I was ever going to use the Amiibo. Like most of them, they're just going to, with the exception of the Shovel Knight Amiibo, I don't really use Amiibo. It's probably just going to go up on the shelf with all the other Zelda ones. It's a neat figure. Wish I had that Skyward Sword Link. It would look really good next to it. Because they like, when it came to reprinting the Zelda Amiibos, they reprinted the Guardians like 5 times. But they never reprinted like the Twilight Princess one. They never reprinted the Skyward Sword one. I think they did reprint the Majora's Mask one. I think that was the only one they did reprint. I don't think they ever reprinted any of the Wind Waker ones. It was just kind of stupid. But yeah, I guess that's just gonna take us to outro. Yeah, we're 2 hours in. Let's just go to outro. Outro, do I have anything? Again, I don't know how much of this is making it through. Because, I had more things I was going to talk about. Yeah. But we'll do it next week, assuming everything works again next week. I know it's not my computer. Like, I don't think that's the problem. Fuck. Yeah, no, it's just, God, I cannot believe we're having this. And I don't know what's worse. Having the issue at like 10 minutes in so that way I can just stop, or having it an hour and a half in when I'm already fucking committed. I don't know what's worse. I just know I'm fucking annoyed. That's what I'll say. I just know I'm fucking annoyed. Yeah, we're still playing Fall Guys. I mean, we'll be playing Fall Guys next week. Nothing has changed on that front. Still enjoying me some Fall Guys. And I haven't been playing it as much recently because, I've been busy now that, again, I got, 2 days off. I'll eventually get around to Skyward Sword. I don't know. Part of it, though, is that Skyward Sword is like a 60-hour game, and I don't know if I have that time. I was actually thinking like earlier, I was like, oh, I could play Skyward Sword again, which is a 60-hour experience, or maybe I could finally get around to finishing Horizon Zero Dawn, which I played like 5 hours of and never got past that. Maybe I should do that instead of doing Skyward Sword again. Because, I mean, I still haven't touched it. God damn it. I'll get around to it when I get out. I was less than 10 seconds. But yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, oh, I'll get around to Skyward Sword when I get around to Skyward Sword, you know? I don't know. I do want to. And I almost did today. But instead I just checked out more of that Islander. I don't know. It's a thing. But yeah, next, assuming any of this is working right now, we'll be back next week. We'll talk, well, I know we're talking about that Pokemon Direct next week, so yeah. No other plans than that. Will we be back Friday? Hopefully. I still think Friday is the best day for the show, even though I've been totally willing to move it to Saturday. I don't know. I'm having all sorts of fucking problems, and again, my OBS is working, should be working fine. Like, there's no, I don't fucking get it. God, do I have to admit, I don't have a hardwired in connection. That's never been an issue, but am I gonna have to fucking, God, my desk is a fucking mess. I don't even know if I'd have room for another fucking cable. I don't know. I've got a busy day tomorrow, and I don't even have class tomorrow. But yeah, that's where we're gonna end off for today. We'll be back tomorrow, or we'll be back next week. I don't know. God, I can't believe we're so close to the crown that one time. Yeah, I know. Fuck me, man. I'm just trying to be a simple. I'm just trying to do a simple stream. Is that all? Is that too much to ask for? Like, come the fuck on here. Come on. With that, I hope you all enjoyed whatever the fuck happened here. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.